Hello, everyone. Now we get to something which is very important, probably near the top of your list of things you want to know about, um, the nitty gritty about grading and assignments. So, to be crystal clear, this video is just a summary. A lot of people process information um, better when it's said out loud than when it's written. So, I give you this video with audio, so it's said out loud. Um, Also, a lot of people want to know the gist, the general outline of the class in a short video or whatever, without having to read through um, the whole syllabus all at once for all the details. So that's why I give you this. That said, all the details, the exact policies, the exact number of points are, of course, in the syllabus. You wouldn't want those in a video because you'd have to go through the whole video to find the exact thing. Whereas in the syllabus, everything's sort of static, locked into place for you. That's where all the details are. So this is just meant to give you a gloss, a quick summary, so that you know the general lay of the land. If you have questions, you'll surely have questions after this video. Two things to do. First is to read the relevant part of the syllabus because the exact answer is in there, I guarantee you. Second thing you can do, if you can't find it in the syllabus, email me. I mean, you can always email me. But the point is I want to make sure that you know you can go proactively all by yourself, get the answers. They're in the syllabus. But I also know it's a big document. It has every answer for the whole class. So to plow through that 10 or so pages trying to find one piece of information, I get that's trying. So always email me if either the syllabus is unclear or you didn't find it in the syllabus. Just email me. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So this is just the general gist. Everything in here is more information, more exact data in the syllabus. First, the late penalty for this class. There is a late penalty, but that means I do accept late work. Okay, I accept late work up until the it's on the syllabus the exact day, but basically the last normal day of class. Okay, and the late penalty maxes out at 10%. Now, why is that? Because I'm such a nice guy. I mean, that may have something to do with it. The real reason is that your other professors have other goals for their class, but my goal for this class is to get you to develop the skills of philosophy. If you do that on time, super. If you don't, it's not that big of a deal to me. Also, I know a lot of you with the disruptions, recent disruptions to school, jobs, family, all this sort of stuff are especially busy. And while I I don't have any control over your life, if things get more difficult for you, I can't revamp the whole class just to fit it around your life because each one of you has a different life. But I can build this policy in a way that minimizes the clash, the inevitable clash between school and other activities. Okay. So, but what that also means is 10% max. That means as late as it is, it still will only lose 10% at the most. Because that's pretty easy, it also means I'm going to apply it every time. Okay, you're sick, your dog got loose, your dog is sick, whatever, very sad events, but I'm still gonna have to apply it consistently every time, okay? It wouldn't be fair to other students if I let you off the hook sometimes. That's another reason I keep it small, okay? Um, here's another key and maybe sort of unusual part of a class. No outside sources for our class, okay? Um, don't go looking for them, okay? And if you do go looking for them, which I'm saying don't do, if you do go looking for them and they show up in a way I can see in any of your work, you're going to fail. That's it. Um, that may sound unusual, but here's a few reasons why, okay? The first reason is that philosophy is partly about moving from things that you're unsure about to becoming more sure about them. It's about thinking about a tough topic that you don't have good proof for, and then developing or finding proof for that question. Okay, it's not about like capitals of foreign countries where looking it up online gives you all that you need to know. Okay, if you're going to move from something you're unsure about to developing certainty or surety about it, if you're going to move from lacking proof to developing proof, that involves thinking about these ideas logically for yourself. Okay, so going online won't help you with that skill at all. Okay, also, developing that skill is what's going to pay off for you long term. So even if you went online and found the right answers, um, you wouldn't be developing this skill. So it would only help you for one little rinky dinky assignment in one class, and it wouldn't pay off for you long term in your life. Okay. So that's why I have this policy of no outside sources. Now that sounds, oh, he's mean, he's strict, whatever. Here's the flip side though. This is a 100 level class. If I allowed you outside sources, then I'd end up sort of expecting you to use them. Then we would be turning what's supposed to be an introduction into something like a research level class, okay? Or at least some students would be doing outside research and some wouldn't, and then the grades would start to separate, right? The try-hard kids would get A's, everyone else would be held to the same standard because that's how class works, and they'd get lower grades. It doesn't seem fair to me in a 100 level class to expect you to do outside research. So I say no outside research necessary. In fact, don't do it. Okay. So next, papers in this class are a pretty big deal. That's required by Ball State in order for you to get the tier credits that you get for this kind of class. Okay. Since a lot of you are signing up for a class like this in order to get different tier prerequisite, et cetera, things met, that's just part of the package deal. It's what philosophy is, but it's also what Ball State requires a course like this to be in order for it to satisfy these requirements. So that's part of just the cost of doing business here. That said, I give you lots and lots of help for the papers because I want everyone to do well on the papers. I have you do pre-paper work that will help you write a better paper. I have office hours of two kinds. One, you can always reach out and get office hours by appointment. Okay. Two, I also set certain days set aside where it's like I'm just sitting by the computer waiting for you, your class, to contact me so that I can spend more time with your class for papers. I also offer a rubric, a sort of scoring rubric. I'm available for email questions at any time. And I give you advice files and readings about how to write a good paper. Okay, so yes, papers are a big part of this class, but I've really done about everything I can to help you write better papers. Okay. Now, here's something. I've taught for a while now. I know lots of students, their attitude is like, yeah, but I'm just not a good paper writer. Fair enough. Think about it this way, though. Nobody was born a good paper writer, correct? I mean, literally, no one. Okay. So if you think that you're somehow just like genetically not good at writing papers, I don't buy that. Everyone stinks at writing papers initially, and we all get somewhat better through high school and stuff, basically. Okay? But my attitude is not that some of you are good paper writers and some of you aren't. It's that all of you can become better paper writers. And in fact, even that I myself can become a better paper writer. So everyone is moving forward, getting better and better at writing every time they do it, right? So I don't have this class set up where it's like just sink or swim. You're either good at it or you're not. Everyone is given guidance so that they can do better than the last paper they wrote on, okay? So yes, to repeat, papers are big for this class, but I give you lots of help. Sort of a second point is that some of you think you're not good at writing papers, and I would say you're just not as good as you want to be yet. You're going to get better through this class. Okay. Sorry, it helps if I repeat all of my main points, so I'll repeat the other two prior points now as well. there's a late penalty. It maxes out at 10%. Okay. And I accept late work. There's no real cutoff until the end of the course for late work. That was the first main point. Second main point, do not use outside sources. I want you thinking for yourself in this class, and outside sources will short circuit that. Third point we just did, papers. One more thing about the papers is philosophy requires a specific kind of writing, but all the advice I give you and all the comments I'm going to give you in your first paper are tailored to writing in general. For sure, college papers outside of philosophy class, but also college papers, also writing outside of college. I will point out to you when things aren't clear. I will point out to you good ways to define terms that will apply to every email you're ever going to send, every report you're ever going to draft for a boss, etc. Okay, so again, philosophy can be very useful. Discussion. Discussion is very confusing at first for some students, but it becomes crystal clear to everybody after we go through for a little bit. The basics are this. Once more, the details are all in the syllabus, so look at that and then ask me again if anything remains unclear. But the basics of discussion are this. 1, a comment on average of 1 comment per day of discussion will get you an A. If you do about 2 out of every 3 days of discussion, you'll get a B. And if you do about half the days of discussion, you will get a C. Okay? Second point. You do not need to answer every question that I ask you, okay? I ask multiple questions most days, not to make you do more work, which would be, boo, right? But instead I ask you multiple questions to give you the choice or option to pick which one interests you the most, okay? Third point, if you miss a day, no problem. Just do an extra day in the future, okay? What this means is I do not want you going backwards and doing old ones. If you go do old discussions, there's nobody there to discuss with. The other students have left, okay? So don't go back. The other thing that this means is it's easy to catch up. You can miss a whole week. That'd be, say, 3 questions, give or take. Well, you have a chance to do 6 questions easy the next week because I asked so many. So you can just get right back all those points. It's easy. Okay. So again, if you miss one, just do one more later in the future. Easy. Fourth point. Yes, replying to other students counts as discussion. So go ahead and reply to other people. Fifth point. It is not required that you respond to other students. Okay. So hopefully you're getting the overall view from everything I'm saying here. Is that our class has options built into it. I've already added workarounds for potential problems for students, all in advance. So I try to work with my students even on things like assignments to make it basically easier for you to do the same kind of work, make it easier for you to do quality work. Okay, so I'm here to help you. Once more, just a summary for discussion. 1, about 1 comment per day will get you an A. That's it. 2, you don't need to do every question I ask you. Only 1 of the many I ask you per day. 3, if you miss a discussion day 1 week, just make it up later in a future week. Don't go back. Instead, catch up by doing more going forward. 4, replying to other students counts just as much as answering the question itself. 5, but it's not required. You don't have to answer, you don't have to reply to other students. Okay. The next main point is that we have these so-called experiential assignments. They're called experiential because they require you to do something. That makes them, frankly, a lot more fun. Also, for people who read slowly, don't like reading, have a lot of reading for other classes, etc. This allows you to do work in philosophy without having to read yet more philosophy, write yet another paper, etc. Okay? So these, for a lot of students, are one of the more interesting parts of our class. The details will be announced online, but one of them, for Taoism, it's sort of the exercise is like doing verbal yoga. You're going to chant some passages from the reading over and over again, sort of like a monk, and see if they sort of transform in your head, okay, by going over them again and again like that. So like I said, it's sort of like verbal yoga. The second experiential assignment is it's like art appreciation, and it will be applying what we read about the philosophy of art to actual artworks. It's pretty cool. So it'll sort of be like some of you have music performance classes or nursing and chemistry labs, or say a dance class, right? This will be like that for philosophy, but it's a philosophy of art appreciation lab or performance, okay? Just summarize that point quickly. These experiential assignments are very different, and they're also very different from reading and doing papers, and they're meant to be. So final point is this, is that you'll notice between the discussion, the experiential assignments, that the real goal of our class is for you to apply the books to life somehow. So both sides are important. Books and reading are super crucial for our class. Yeah, you have to do these readings. Flip side, the point is to use those books somehow, not to read just to read, but to somehow do something with it that's interesting, that changes or enhances your life somehow. That's the point, okay? Another aspect of this is that, again, going back to those of you who are fearful of papers or hesitant about papers or think that you're not good at papers, I've made it so about half the credit in this class is through non-paper work. We have to have the papers, but I've made these other kinds of assignments so that everyone gets to try a whole bunch of different ways of doing philosophy. Sometimes in papers, sometimes outside of papers. Okay, so that's the summary. More details are in the syllabus. Go there for more information, and then email me if you have any questions. Okay, thanks everyone.